A wise man once said that your ability to be able to recognize that you have limitations, that you have some inabilities, that you lack wisdom, it's in a lot of ways also what we call intelligence. For so many people that are weak, that are not doing well, is because they are not wise in their decisions. Decisions in terms of relationships, their decisions in terms of money management, their decisions in terms of maybe business-wise, and so many things around their lifestyle. And you don't seek wise counsels, every possibility that you're going to be failing at long run. If you want to sell anything, if you want to be a marketer, if you want to be in business, yourself, you are the first product people look at. Most times, people don't buy what you sell. They buy you, the trust, the integrity. Some people, their mind, just like you hear close, their mind is closed. They are biased. They have been taught a lot of things that they grew up with, and they never want to change. Pay attention to something to understand it. Then you're never going to accept it, even if it's a fact. Super excited to be with you today. A wise man once said that your ability to be able to recognize that you have limitations, that you have some inabilities, that you lack wisdom, is in a lot of ways also what we call intelligence, and in this case, financial intelligence. Thank you for having me today. My name is A.A. Kabir. Today is day 52 of our live video session. Yesterday we talked about the power of wisdom and how wisdom can actually make you prosper and give you lots of wealth. Guess what we are doing today? We're going to be telling you some of the things that will make you realize, understand, and recognize the fact that you are not wise. Do you get? Because it's one thing to understand that there's power in wisdom, and it's a whole lot of other things to be able to understand too that you lack wisdom actually, because some people watching me right now might think that you are wise. But in what way are you wise? What makes you feel you are wise? Do you actually have wisdom? Now today again we're going to be revealing some of the things that probably you have them in you that might be denying you that wisdom you need to pull through or to get to the financial peak. So myself, I had some in the past and I still have some as I'm talking to you. But as much as possible, what we do is we're trying to deal with ourselves to get better, refine yourself to get better. So listen to me to the end of this session. I believe you're going to pick a lot, just like many people get back to me yesterday. And it's amazing how people told me that they learned from the session. So wisdom is very important, because if you are not wise, there's a lot of decisions you're going to be making that will make you fail. And if you are wise, you take wise decisions, and that could pull you to actually where you want to be. Because I found out that for so many people that are weak, that are not doing well, is because they are not wise in their decisions. Their decisions in terms of relationships, their decisions in terms of money management, their decisions in terms of maybe business-wise, and so many things around their lifestyle. So if you can't decide well because you are not wise, and you don't seek wise counsels, there's every possibility that you're going to be failing at long run. So thank you for joining me once again, like I've said. Now today we're going to be discussing 10 points that will make you understand the reason why you might not necessarily be wise in taking some certain decisions. So number 10 is, I think, one of the most commonest I've found with people. I think I suffer a lot of it in the past. I think I still suffer it currently. But until you listen to the end of the video, you might not be able to get your hands on that particular one. Now let's get started. Number 1 I have on my list is lack of awareness. This is very important. A lot of people, you don't know yourself. And that's why I tell people that you are the first product. If you want to sell anything, if you want to be a marketer, if you want to be in business, yourself, you are the first product people look at. Most times, people don't buy what you sell. They buy you, the trust, the integrity, right? So everything boils down to you as a product first, before any other person can think of patronizing you. So who are you? You don't know yourself. You don't know your kind of lifestyle that could support what you are doing. You don't really understand yourself, and therefore cannot promote yourself, because as much as I know, even your conversation, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you behave, some certain things about life that concerns your personality. I think I should mention that your personality means a lot when it comes to dealing with people. So a lot of us underestimate this. Why? Because we are not aware, right? Lack of self-awareness. So you might want to take that journey where you understand really who you are. And I think that's where you should pick it from. If you don't know who you are, forget about it. There's a lot you're going to be missing, because it is when you understand who you are, you possibly will now understand where you fit in and the kind of people you should go with. Because like there's this saying that a birds of lights flock together, right? So you don't understand yourself, it's possible you are dining with wrong people because you don't understand yourself. But if you do, there's a lot of people out there that will easily click with you, and then they will help you to promote and then take you to your destination. Most times you travel with people that are in your likes, and they will help you discover your destiny. So that's it about self-awareness. Thank you for joining us, Abdullah, Nana, Aisha. Thank you for joining our live sessions, and I love your comment. Impressive, sir. Okay, now let's go to the second point. The second point is close-mindedness. Do you know what this means? Some people, their mind, just like you hear close, their mind is closed. They are biased. They have been taught a lot of things that they grew up with, and they never want to change, especially when it comes to things like religion. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it, but it's true. Religion as a whole, especially in Africa, has blocked a lot of people's mind, their head, everything they can't see, because they believe they are worshiping God. By the way, I had to mention this because it's a reality. Do you understand? So I found out that some people grew up with a kind of mindset that is already blocked and they are biased. So no matter how you try to explain or get a new point across to them, look, they are standing at the other side. They can't even assume what you are saying. They don't see it happening. So no matter how you want to try to convince them, they are never going to listen. So you find out that even when the wisdom wants to come to such people, they are going to reject it. Do you understand? So they are going to be behaving unwise. They will reject opportunities because they really can't listen. And if you can't pay attention to something to understand it, then you're never going to accept it, even if it's a fact. So just look around your life. And before I will continue, let me say this. I started this video by saying, a wise man once said that your ability to be able to recognize your limitations, that you lack wisdom in it, is also an intelligence, a form of intelligence, right? Now, a lot of us don't even recognize the fact that we are not wise. We think we are wise, right? So please, some of these points we're going to be mentioning today should help you understand that you are not wise if you do any of this. Now let's go to point 3. Point 3 said impulsiveness. Do you understand what that means? Impulsiveness is like acting without thinking. Just using your emotions to act just as things happen. That's how you react to it without necessarily using your brain to think. I can guarantee you that if you behave that way, in fact, this is the most highest level of unwiseness, because you are definitely always going to be wrong in your decisions. You have to think deeply before you take actions, before you take decisions. And even in business, even if you are not in business and you intend to buy things, right? You go to the market to buy things and you really cannot really think deep around things. Somebody just come to advertise something you never prepare for, you never budget for. That's not what even took you to the market in the first place. But you happens to buy because what? You buy with emotions, you buy with impulsiveness. You don't really think deep. You cannot think things through. Do you understand? If this is happening to you, man, you are not wise. You might need to have a rethink. Do you understand? These are some of the little places where you gather your wisdom. And I tell you, there's no way you can be rich or you can be wealthy. We're discussing your way to wealthiness, right? Your journey to wealth creation, right? So if you really want to be wealthy or you want to maintain some level of wealth, then you must have to be static. You must have to be I mean, you have to upgrade yourself in all of these areas I'm talking about. So never ever you be an impulsive person. Do you understand? Otherwise, you're not going to be wise. Now, the next point I have here is emotional instability. This one concerns a lot of people, right? I talk about impulsiveness as another way of not thinking through before you act, right? Now, this emotional instability is some people, they are naturally unstable. Of course, normally life is unstable, and at every level I understand that you have to try to develop yourself to attain some level of stability, especially when it comes to learning. But what I found out is that the lesser knowledge you have, or the lesser implementation of the knowledge you have, as much as you can implement, that's how wise you can become. That's how much knowledge is in you that you are using. It determines in a lot of ways how wise you become. Now, some people don't even have the knowledge at all to start with. Do you understand? So in a lot of ways, what we call emotional instability is just like not always being stable when it comes to dealing with emotions. You take decisions because of the way you feel, not necessarily using your brain. So in a lot of ways, you're going to be wrong. So most times, you should use logic instead of just behaving because of emotion, acting because of emotions. Emotions can ruin you if you don't understand. And in most cases, I found out that people that use emotions to take decisions are always failures. They are not wise people. So you don't have wisdom if you are not wise. So now the next thing I have here is arrogance. I too know everything. You never want to listen to anybody. You sabi pass, right? This is our point 6. Sorry, I'm not labeling it. This is point 6. Everything that you sabi, I know this thing. Therefore, nobody will tell. In fact, just that, I think one of the experiments that I've seen that really explain this point is, do you know that while you are standing somewhere seeing number 6, somebody is standing somewhere seeing number 9, the same thing you are seeing. He's standing at the other end seeing 9, whereas you are seeing 6. But you are telling him he's wrong. He is also telling you you are wrong. See, the best way at times not to behave like an arrogant is try to assume yourself in the shoe of the next person that you are arguing with. As far as I'm concerned, if you cannot stand in the other person's shoe to be able to understand what he's saying, then there's no point arguing with the person, because you're never going to arrive at a understanding point. And so you likely might behave like an arrogant person, and that's who you are really if you cannot be able to view the other person's standpoint. Do you understand? And all these things, some people might wonder why are we discussing wisdom? If you are not wise, you're not going to be wealthy. Even if the wealth find itself mistakenly into your place, it's going to leave because you are not wise. Wealth is for the wise. Do you understand? If you know if you understand what I'm saying, a lot of the poor people that are poor, they are not wise. I've said it earlier in terms of even when making do you know that as far as I'm concerned, even for example making arrangement to get married, either you are a male or female, it's a financial decision. Do you understand? But some people just think, let me just pray and the wife just come and then you just get married. But when you get married, apart from the fact that you need finances to get married, you need to keep your wife, children will come. How many children do you want to give birth to? Do you want to have? All these are economic decisions. Therefore, you need to be what? You need to be wise about planning it. So whatsoever you want to do in your life, you might want to sit down to plan. Really, don't be arrogant. You need to sit yourself in the other person's shoe. Don't always think that you know all. If you know all, you are a fool. You can't know all. You are not wise if you know all. Or if you think you know all, let me not say you know all, because you know all, feeling like you know all means that you don't know anything. Because from what I discovered, the more you travel the journey of studying, of learning, the more you realize you don't know. One day I was listening to Dan Lok, and he said he went out with a wealthy man on a lunch that is actually sponsored the lunch. Do you understand? Trying to learn from the man. But when they got there where they sit right and start the meeting, the man brought out a jotter and was asking him, and was jotting it down, some of the things he was discussing. So it turned out that the man was actually learning from him instead of him learning from the man. This is how wise people behave. This is wisdom. Don't think you know. By the way, even when you are among people that you feel you know better than them, never you assume that. There is a lot you can learn from them. Sometimes when I sit with the staff we work with colleagues and many other business partners, I always try, even my mentees, they already understand this, that each time I come to their DM, I'm coming to learn. Do you understand? I turn the table around. That's life. So don't be arrogant. Now the next point we have, number 7, is lack of critical thinking. I think somehow these points are interwoven. You don't think carefully through things. You just think. Thinking is a stress. You don't need to think. Just go ahead and do what you want to do. Don't do that shit. You're going to make mistakes. Even when you want to buy something, you want to deal with people, you are in anger situation, you need to think things through carefully. You might have to sleep over some issues. Like seriously, if you want to be wise about it. Otherwise, rushing into taking decisions without thinking it through, I tell you, you're going to be unwise. Because most of the decisions you take at the point where you have not really thought about it is going to be unwise. So don't be unwise. Get some wisdom. Do you understand? Now, number 8 is lack of empathy. Just like I've said earlier, you cannot assume and feel the way the next person is feeling. Take for example, you are a manager, or you manage people, whatsoever, you are a supervisor, or you own a company and you are actually working with staff, right? Now, in a lot of ways, what I've learned is that you need to assume what that person is feeling. Just like, okay, Nigeria as a country now, our politicians, I don't think they really have empathy. They can't assume what the masses are going through because, and it's true, you found out that some times ago your life was not in order, but maybe as you grew up, your life gets better, you begin to get some money and you forgot the trenches where you came from. And when you see people like that, where you lived before, you begin to feel like, wow, I can't do this, I can't live this life. Why? Because you think you can't really assume yourself in that shoe again. Like this happens to most people. Do you understand? So if you cannot really assume the situation of the next person, assume yourself in their shoes and feel their pain, and whatsoever dealings you have with them, especially when it's business or whatsoever it is, as much as you can do, that's how wise you are. That's a wise person. But if you can't do that, then you are not wise. Because while taking decisions against such kind of people, you must have to assume yourself. You are a company owner, you are taking decisions on behalf of your staff. You need to assume why, how they feel. If you should be a staff like them, would you take the same treatment? Now, this is wisdom. Now, the next point we have is number 9, which is what we call superficial knowledge. You are always peripheral. You don't want to go deep. Well, like some people will try to analyze in case you are doing business, what if things should go wrong, and they try to bring out the possibilities. Do you understand? Like as much as possible, you want to make any decision, you need to sit down and criticize. You need to sit down and really look beyond the current happening. Take for example, you want to divorce a wife, or you want to do something that is wrong, but maybe because you are feeling bad, or a situation has happened between you and somebody and you want to decide, because you are feeling bad, you act on the emotions without necessarily thinking of the outcome. Do you understand? Maybe your wife is bad, yes, I understand, but you need to consider if she leaves, what happened next? What are the consequences? If you really want to be wise, you want to spend some money you've made, yes, it's okay to spend, but if you spend the money carelessly, what happened next? You need to ask yourself this question and really get the answers down. Because definitely if you spend the money, that thing you are not thinking will happen. Do you understand? So don't be a surface person. Don't be the person that takes decision based on superficial knowledge, a kind of peripheral knowledge. You don't even want to go deep. Like you want to start a business, you don't even know much about the business. And seriously, this is what the poor do, and that's why they are getting poorer. A lady was talking to me some days back and she was like, Nigeria is a bad country. Why should the richer be getting richer and the poor be getting poorer? Like seriously? See, as far as I'm concerned, if you are poor right now in your mindset, even if they give you $1 million, it's just a matter of time. You're going to squander it. And guess what? Those people that you see getting richer, if you should leave them, as in take all the money they have away from them, it's a matter of time. They're going to replicate it even much better than the way you saw them before. I have seen people who go down in terms of business and they replicate and come back. In most cases, what I've learned with business is who you become, not what you are making. Right? Just like you see me now. This is day 52 of my live video session. I love who I am becoming. And like seriously, not myself. A lot of people are loving who I'm becoming, and I'm becoming better every day. So what I'm saying in essence is that always go deeper. Always go deeper. Dig deeper if you really want to get better results. Because even the, precious stones and gems are found beneath the earth. You have to dig deeper if you want to get better. Do you understand? And that's why you see the knowledge we have in school, they are just surface something. If you don't dig deeper, if you come out, you're going to just be walking around with your certificate. Right? I don't know how many examples I will do for you to understand, but there's always, find one thing. I was talking to a lady today and I told her, she mentioned like 35 things that she was doing. Only her was into. I told her, no, you need to focus. Just pick one thing that you know at least it's easy and gives you more income, and then you can do it well. Or even if not do it well, once you have figured out this is what I want to do, focus your energy, your time, your attention, and pay it to it. Because for what you pay your time, your energy, and attention, that thing is what pays you back. So if you are paying your attention, your energy, your time, your resources to the wrong thing, it's going to give you wrong results. So it doesn't matter how it looks like now, your current situation, but make sure you are paying attention to what is productive and what is going to give you massive returns, ROI. Do you understand? So now finally, I've told you from the beginning of this video that the last one is choking, and this affects a lot of people, including you probably. Let me just let you know, and that's avoiding challenges. If you are avoiding challenges, you are not wise. You should go and look for challenges. You should go and look for problem, and you have one already right now. Yes, that's an opportunity for you. I think I heard this from Henry Ford. He said I think, is it Henry Ford or Napoleon Hill? Either of them. That every challenges come with its seed of opportunities. So if you don't have a challenge right now, if you don't have a problem right now, go and look for one. And I know you have. At least if you don't have any, you should have lack of money or wanting to grow your wealth. That's a problem. By the way, the essence why we always have this session is to help you make money, manage the one you have, and then how to also multiply it. But these are some of the simple tactics you can use to keep doing this. Right? So don't avoid problems. Go and look for problems. My name is AA Kabir if you are meeting me for the first time, and if you like this presentation, please hit the like button, subscribe, share so that others who can benefit from it. We're going to be doing this for 1,000 days. Amazingly, today is day 52 already. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.